In today's Leeds news, Leeds remember Christopher Loftus, Kevin Spate, and David Rocastle. Update on the pursuit of Ilias Akhomach. Robbie Fowler speaks on his time at Leeds, and under 21s in action. Hiya folks, Jer here on the final day of March, heading into springtime properly, and football is back this weekend and back properly. Leeds taking on Arsenal and the Emirates tomorrow. We will be doing a live stream tonight at 6:30 p.m. Irish UK time. That will be our full match preview for the game coming up this weekend. So if you want to get into that in more detail, ask some questions, we will be doing chat and interactive stuff as well. So if you're not into that, don't worry about it. If you are, that'll be on about 6:30. I will put a reminder and a scheduler tab in the community tab later on today. So in the meantime, let's crack on with this. And a sad time of year when it comes to remembering people, and Leeds have put out some information around how they plan to remember Christopher Loftus and Kevin Spate this year. The two men unfortunately passed away while supporting Leeds United in Istanbul, and that is 23 years ago, which seems like only yesterday. But a minute's silence for Chris and Kevin will take place at their plaque on the East Stand at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, April 5th. The club is also planning a minute's silence at the Leeds home game on Saturday, the 8th of April, for the game against Crystal Palace. So it's nice to remember the two men. It's important to keep remembering them. It was part of our history now. It happened while supporting Leeds, and it's great that the club continues to remember them. So the club have been in contact with his family as well around these plans as well. So great to see that. Also looking to remember people, it's 22 years to the day since David Rocastle passed away. Rocky played 25 times for Leeds, scored 2 goals in his time at Leeds, and was 33 years of age when he passed away. So just to mark that day and say our thoughts are with David Rocastle's family and friends at this tough time for them. So nice to remember him as well. Moving on, let's talk about some transfer stuff. And Ilias Akhomach keeps popping up, or Ilias Akhomach keeps popping up, and people asking lots of questions about it. But according to Mundo Deportivo, Leeds just need to announce the signing of the Barcelona wonder kid. Reports in Spain from Outlet Sport suggest that Akhomach deal is either done or very, very close to being done. They have said that in the absence of official confirmation, the former goes to Leeds. When they say the former, they mean Akumac. Leeds Director of Football Victor Orta did confirm Leeds' interest in the player earlier this week, and it has also been rumoured that Arsenal made a late pitch to try and get the player to move to them. He's an exciting young player, 17 years of age, and it would be a really, really good signing for Leeds to get in. And who you'd imagine would go straight into the 21 side, not into the younger age groups, given the caliber of player that he is. And Victor Orta continues to do great work of bringing in younger under 21 players this season specifically. And fingers crossed we'll see these players come through. But according to Mundo Deportivo, for all intents and purposes, this deal is done. We're just waiting on announcement. Leeds don't tend to announce under 21 players in that big a deal. I wonder will they make an exception for this kid, but it could just be one that just quietly goes under the radar, and we hear about it in preseason. So keep our ear to the ground and see what happens with that. But I haven't covered it much recently because it's a lot going around without any real updates. This is the first kind of major update on it, so that came out this week. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Moving on, Leeds under 21s will be in action tonight. They are away to Swansea, kickoff at 7 p.m. at the Swansway Stadium. The game is on LUTV, and tickets are available if you want to travel over to Wales to see that game. But as I said, it will be on LUTV tonight at 7 p.m. So you can check that one out if you want to. And then the main story today, it's a quiet one. It really is Robbie Fowler has been talking about his time at Leeds and specifically his exit from Leeds. Yeah, Fowler had a really good time at Leeds and played 30 games for Leeds, scored 14 goals, so just under a goal every game, which is not a bad average in the Premier League. But was one of the players that was brought in at a time where Leeds probably didn't need to sign any more strikers. We had Viduka, we had Robbie Keane, you had Alan Smith there as well. It was a time where Leeds were just, bringing in players that probably didn't need to sign, which ultimately caused the downturn in the club. But speaking recently about his time at Leeds and specifically the moments when he left, he said the following. Man City came in, but I didn't really want to leave Leeds to move to another club. I was happy there. I was comfortable there. But players needed to go. I had a medical at City and I came out and said, nah, I think I'm going to stay at Leeds. As I'm driving back into Leeds, one of the directors was driving out. He puts the window down and we have a bit of a chat. I told him, I've made up my mind. I want to stay here. And he said, take the money and run, son. This club is going under. So great to see there was huge confidence in the directors that put us into the mess, trying to get us out of it. So unfortunate one for Leeds at the time. The fire sale wasn't great. If you want to get more information on this, there's a really good piece on the Square Ball I've done with the Phil Hay Show, where Phil and Dan Moylan had a really good conversation about what happened at the time, Ridsdale's words and what he said about Leeds at the time, and then what he's been saying recently about it as well, and how it's the narrative has kind of started to change. A bit like Jimmy Hasselbank's narrative of how he left Leeds. All of a sudden, it started to change. That Leeds pushed him out, and he wasn't the one chasing the money. It's amazing. Some people can rewrite their history over time, isn't it? But it's a very, very good. It's probably my favorite Phil Hay show episodes. So Dan Moylan does a fantastic job of guiding the conversation and giving his opinion on it as well. It also goes into football heritage as well, which I thought was a fantastically interesting conversation. It doesn't look good for people like me who are not in Leeds, and Phil reckons people outside of Leeds probably shouldn't have a say in how the club does things or what the club doesn't, being in Ireland and outside of Leeds. But it's still a really, really good conversation from the two of them. And it's, again, as I said, probably one of the best podcasts that I've listened to around Leeds. So I would recommend going and checking that out if you haven't seen it or heard it already. And that's going to be pretty much it for today, folks. We will be back tonight. Again, 6:30 p.m. for the preview for the Arsenal game. We'll go through predicted lineups. Great to see what you think the lineups will be for the game as well. If you want to hang on to them till later on, we can show them on screen as well. But it'd be nice to have a chat later on. We'll go through the whole lot, injuries, Arsenal's press conference, the works, and we'll talk about it later on. So I will see you hopefully at 6:30 tonight. If I don't, I'll see you back here on Monday morning for Leeds news, and probably Just Joe show on Sunday night at 10 p.m. this week, I think, for the final word as well. So I'll talk to you over the weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.